We will begin at the top of the mat. Feet together, toes touching, heels slightly apart. Tailbone is heavy, hands in prayer. Relax the shoulders. Start to breathe in and out. Gently release the hands from prayer and hold them out straight across from the elbows. Now lower the hands down, palms facing up. Inhale, smoothly bring them up, and exhale, flip the palms and push back down gently. Inhale, flip the palms, come up, and exhale, flip the palms and move the hands down. Inhale, scoop energy towards the center, and exhale, push the energy down toward the legs and the feet. Inhale and exhale. We're connecting movement with the breath here. Keep the hands open and facing toward the front as you begin to come back into the breath. Inhale, lift the arms up over the head. And exhale, you're going to bring that left hand down the left thigh. Right arm comes up and over. Inhale, bring that left hand back to meet the right. And exhale, lower the right arm as you open up that left side, crawling the fingers toward the right. Exhale, release the left hand down to the side. Inhale, lean forward and come up onto your toes, and exhale, step back. Inhale, come find the balance up on the toes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, with the belly pulled in, come up onto the toes. Find the balance. Maybe you lift the arms all the way up. Maybe you look at the fingertips still on the toes. We're pulling the belly in, keeping the tailbone heavy. Exhale, release the heels and swan dive all the way down to a forward fold. You can bend your knees here if you need to, alternating side to side. Opening up the back of the hamstrings any way that you wish. You can move in whichever way you feel is right for you today. On an inhale, come up halfway, lengthen the spine, pull the shoulders back. Now you're going to walk the right hand right underneath the face. Open up the left hand to the left side for a twist. Try to keep that left hip and right hip even. Exhale, lower that left hand, place it underneath your face, replace the right. Inhale, pull forward with the right hand first, and then scoop all the way up, looking up at the right hand. Just briefly before you exhale and release the right hand for a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Bring the hands behind you, then to your hips. Slightly bend the thighs, and keeping the thighs and legs as they are, rise all the way up so you're feeling that engagement in the legs. Hands by the side now. Inhale, we're coming up on the toes, lifting the arms up. Hold here, pull the belly in, tailbone heavy. Exhale, draw the hands down. We're coming into chair pose. Hands to the floor as you straighten the legs, or hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees slightly to come into your chest. Now you're going to slowly lift up, keeping the knees bent. Try to keep them in the same spot before you come all the way up and straighten. By keeping them in the same spot, you're really engaging those hamstrings and glutes and really paying extra mind to all the muscles that pull you up. Inhale, we're coming up onto the toes again, hands reaching up. And exhale, staying on the toes now. Can you balance and draw the hands down in prayer and lower the heels? Straighten the legs as you come in for a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, pull the belly in. Exhale, refold here. We're really waking up the hamstrings. Slight bend in the knee. Come up slow as you possibly can to swan dive all the way back up. And exhale, draw the hands through the heart for prayer and release the hands to the side. Inhale, up on the toes again, arms come all the way up. And stay for one more breath. Staying on the toes now, slowly, slowly bend the knees. Find the power, find the engagement, find your balance as you come into each hair on your toes. Then release onto your heels and straighten the legs for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Bend the knees. Inhale, come all the way up with those bent knees and then straighten. Hands in prayer, and then to the side. Inhale, lift that right knee up to the chest. Balance on that left foot. Really drive the heel of the left foot into the floor as you push the knee into your chest. Exhale, you're going to move the leg back. Try to get your knees to touch each other. You're going to reach around the right for the front of the foot for a quad stretch here. Try keeping the knees together, opening up the quads. Release that right foot. Now you're going to draw the left knee into the chest, rooting down into the right foot. Release the left knee and draw the foot back, trying to keep the knees as close together as possible. Grab the top of the left foot with your left arm. Open up the chest. You can reach around with the right hand if you need. Lower the foot. Now we're going to coordinate hands and knees with the breath. So you're going to inhale, raise the knee up with the hands, and then exhale as if you're pushing the thigh down with the hands. Some magical forces pushing the foot all the way down to the floor, but you're not putting the weight on the right foot. You're just gently bringing it down before you inhale and rise it up to the chest. Hands in prayer. You're going to keep that knee up as high as possible. Now, how slowly can you open up to the right side for warrior two? Inhale, flip the hand and come into reverse warrior. Left hand maybe binds around the back. Exhale, you're going to windmill the arms all the way to the front and then walk them to the back, bending the right knee. Left toes come up. You're going to open up those hands to open the heart, and then walk over on an exhale back to a low lunge. Inhale, hands come up to crescent lunge. Tuck that tailbone underneath, strong back leg. And exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Inhale, step that left foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your downward dog here. Elbow spinning towards the ears, belly pulled in, lower rib cage drawn together. On an inhale, step or jump to the top. Look ahead of you halfway and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reverse swan dive, and exhale, hands to the heart. Left side, inhale with the palms coming up and the knee coming up. Inhale and exhale, push down. Keeping the weight in the right foot. Inhale, draw the hands and the knee up. And as slow as possible, keeping that knee as high as you can, almost like a slow motion karate chop kick. You're going to step that left foot out to the back and open up for warrior two on the right side. Strong arms, strong legs here. Inhale, flip the right palm and come into reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down and walk the hands back to Skandasana. So bending the left knee, straightening that right leg, opening up on that right side. Then you're gonna walk the hands forward. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge, tailbone heavy, scooping forward, strong back left leg, strong right leg. Exhale, lower the hand down. Inhale, come into three-legged dog, right leg comes up. And exhale, step that foot down, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the toes and shift forward into plank. Then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, come up to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Elbows grazing the rib cage here. Inhale, come up into plank. And exhale, strong chaturanga. Pull the belly in. And exhale, release all the way to the floor. Hands extend out by the side. Palms facing up. You're going to draw the hands together, clasp the fingers. And you're going to lift the shoulders up first, just so they're off the floor, keeping the chin low. And then you're going to tuck the tailbone under and lift up using the muscles of the back. Inhale, lift up, pull the belly in. Using the power of the back, maybe you lift up a little higher, 1 more inch. And exhale, lower down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. You're gonna push up, starting with the tailbone coming up into the sky, chest grazing the floor. Come into child's pose, and then rise up all the way into hero's pose, sitting on the heels. Maybe you open the heart a little bit, using the support of the hands behind you, arching the back. And exhale, draw the hands back to the front, coming back to lay on the stomach. Inhale, baby cobra, and exhale, lower down. We're gonna go into a little flow here. So you're going to lower the chest, release the arms, but bring the arms forward in front of you, swim them back. Clasp the hands behind you and inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, lower down. Hands come under the shoulders as you slide the chest down the mat, tailbone leading. Slowly inhale, open the heart, a little back bend here. And exhale, draw the hands back to the front as gracefully as possible. Inhale, sweep the hands forward. Exhale, swim them back. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, release the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, slide the chest all the way back. Exhale, come up. Inhale, open the heart. And exhale, release. Now we're going to come onto the knees. Preparing for camel pose here, hands to the heart. Now try to drive the shins down into the floor. Drive the tops of the feet into the floor for stability. Lower the hands, bring the hands to the hips, and use the hands to guide the hips to tuck forward. And see what I'm doing here is I'm opening up my heart, but keeping my chin up toward the ceiling. Keep pressing the hips forward as you walk the hands back. Keep pressing the hips forward as you reach back with your right hand to your right ankle or however close you can with that back bend. Keep pushing the chest up, the hips forward. Maybe you draw the hand all the way up. Slowly make your way back, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae. Neck is coming up last. Lower the hips to the heels, walk the hands out, child's pose in between each side. On an inhale, come all the way back up to the knees. Push the shins and tops of the feet into the floor, tailbone tucked underneath, pushing the hips forward, opening up the heart. Lean back and reach for that left heel with the left hand. Maybe you draw the right arm up and over, coming into a chin mudra. with that index finger into the thumb crease. Slowly come back up and rest in child's pose. Come back to the breath. Notice the difference in the way your body feels. Inhale, slide all the way forward into cobra, and exhale, lower the chest all the way down. Tuck the toes underneath, inhale, come up into a plank, and exhale, lower down. Straighten the arms out behind you, extend them, palms facing forward for one breath. Then replace the hands underneath the shoulders, open up for baby cobra on an inhale. Lower down on an exhale, tuck the toes underneath. And you can follow along with this first modification here if you are just starting out, building up that strength in your arms. Now we're going to tuck the toes underneath and lift the chest up, keeping the knees down, using the strength in the arms. Exhale, lower the chest down, untuck the toes, and straighten the arms out behind you. Inhale, sweep the arms forward as you lift the chest. Exhale, swim them back. Hands rest underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes in. Inhale, rise all the way up into a plank or keep the knees down. And exhale, lower. Untuck the toes. Inhale, swim the arms forward, lift the upper back. And exhale, lower down. Bring the hands under the shoulders, come up into plank. Exhale, chaturanga down. Lower the toes. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, lift up into plank. Exhale, release. Inhale, swim the hands forward. Exhale, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, plank. Exhale, strong arms, lower down. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, tuck the toes under, lift up into plank. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, swim the arms forward. Exhale, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift up into plank. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, swim forward. Exhale, hands under shoulders. Inhale, lift. And exhale, come into downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the toes, bend the knees, and come into child's pose. Rest here for a couple moments. Come back to the breath. Begin to elongate the breath. Now you're going to clasp the hands together here and you're going to start to bring the back of the head toward the hands. And you're just going to push forward with your hips, feeling a nice elongation in the upper back, tucking that chin underneath. You can untuck the toes here if they are tucked. It's just a nice counter pose to all of the back bends and the work that we've just done with the upper back. Exhale, release the hips. Come into downward facing dog. Weight extends through the wrist into the fingertips. Inhale, lift that right leg up for three-legged dog. And exhale, knee comes into the chest. Inhale, lift that right leg, come back up. And exhale, knee goes to the right armpit. Inhale, right leg comes up, strong core, strong arms. Exhale, knee comes into the left elbow. Inhale, rise up, three-legged dog with the right leg. And exhale, we're going to step that right foot through in between the hands. Lower the hips down now. Untuck the back toe. Pull the shoulders back so you have a proud heart. Feel the opening in that inner thigh on the right side. Hip flexors on the left. Now you're gonna push back on that right foot all the way so that your hips are right on top of that left knee. So we're gonna try to make a 90-degree angle as much as possible. And as you can see here, we're pressing down that left shin into the floor, scooping that tailbone underneath and forward. Now slowly straighten that right leg. You might need to push that right leg forward a little bit more to keep that right angle in your left leg. You can either stay here feeling the stretch in the right glute, the right hip, and the hamstrings, or fold forward. Remember to keep the belly pulled in and keep pushing that right hip back. Maybe you walk the hands forward to deepen the stretch. Maybe you flex the foot a little bit more in front of you to feel the stretch extend all the way through the calves. Slowly walk the hands up, rebend that right leg and come back into a low lunge. You're going to walk the hands back now and bring that right hand to the inside of that right leg. And you can either stay up here for the hip opener or lower down onto your elbows, as long as you're keeping that low back long. You can open up that right knee to the right side, coming onto the edge of the right foot. Keep pulling forward with the crown of your head. Some of you will stay here and some of you will bend that left knee behind you. Maybe you open up that chest, reaching for that left foot. So we're getting an intense hip stretch here and an intense quad stretch here. Release the foot, replace the hand, and come back up onto your hands if you were on your elbows. Come back up into downward dog with that right leg sweeping up into three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, keeping the shoulders square. Open up that right hip. Straighten the right leg and exhale, lower the right foot down. Bend the knees, straighten the legs, bend the knees and straighten. We're just adding a little bit more blood into the legs here. Inhale, sweep that left leg up. And left foot steps in between the hands. Lower the right knee. Open up the chest. Untuck the right toes. Make sure to keep those hips even by pushing that left hip back. Maybe use the hands to add a little bit more weight into the hips. And now you're going to push back on that left foot until your hips come over the right knee. Now push into the floor with that right shin and make sure you're tucking that tailbone underneath. So we're pressing that right shin into the floor, pressing the top of the right foot in. That really creates a scooping motion, which opens up your hip flexors on the right side. If you have super sore quads or super tight legs, this is a good one for you. Now push back, straightening that left leg. You may need to step that left foot forward. Exhale, release into the fold. You can stay anywhere you like. Maybe you come deeper into it, still pulling the belly in. Maybe you flex that left foot, pulling the toes toward the face for a nice long stretch. If you feel any tension coming into the face, release it. Tell your body it's in a safe place. If you want to add a rocking motion to the hips to open up and add a little bit more mobility, please do so. You're going to Slide forward just like the left side. Bring that left hand to the inside of that left foot. Stay here or lower onto the forearms. Maybe you open up that left hip, rolling onto the edge of the left foot. Finding the breath here. Unclench the jaw. Relax the muscles in the neck. Experience the breath. Maybe you lift that right foot off the floor and reach back with the left hand, opening up the chest. You can either stay on the right hand or on the right elbow. Look back towards your foot with the intense hip stretch and quad stretch. Release the foot, release the hand. Bring the hand back to center and come back up. Gently, gently lift the hips and come back up for three-legged dog. Left leg sweeps up. Bend the left knee. Open up the hip, looking underneath the right shoulder or the right armpit to keep the shoulders level. Inhale, straighten that left leg, and exhale, lower the foot. Now we're back in downward dog. Make sure to pull the belly in. Walk forward as much as you can to the front of the mat before you inhale. Oh, oops. And now we're going to walk, heel toe the feet out to the edges of the mat and lower the hips down as much as you can. We're coming into Malasana. If your heels are coming up off the floor, you can place a blanket underneath the heels, or you can place a block right underneath the hips so you can get used to that balance. Stay here using the elbows to open up the knees. Keeping the knees tracking outward, rise up, so we're really using the bum. Now we're gonna go into some leg work. So inhale, bring that right foot into the right hand, just like you're going into another quad stretch, but you're going to lower down on that left leg, low, low, low. Maybe you touch the floor very lightly before you inhale and rise back up on the left side. So you're going to put a lot of your weight into that left leg. Trust your body that it does have the power to push you all the way back up. Lower into a Malasana squat, keeping the knees wide. Inhale, rise up, and then you're gonna bring the left foot into the left hand. Lower down, bending the right leg. Maybe you touch the floor with the left knee. Inhale, really pushing all of that weight off with the strength in the right leg. And replace that left foot. Squat down one more time, keeping the knees wide. Inhale, come all the way up using the power of the glutes. Grab the right foot. Lower down, bending the left knee as far as you can go. Inhale, use the strength in the left leg to pull you up, and exhale, replace that right foot. Squat all the way down. Lift that left knee first and then grab the foot with the left hand. Exhale, lower down, bending the right knee. Inhale, come up, and exhale, replace the foot. Lower down into another wide squat. Inhale, bring that right foot into the right hand. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, release the foot. Squat all the way down, another exhale. Inhale, come up, grab the left foot with the left hand, lower down, using the strength in the right leg to do it slowly. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, replace that left leg down. Now, the slower you do these movements, the more your muscles are worked. Now rest here at the bottom for Malasana. If you need more practice with Malasana or staying on your feet, you can use a block and put it right underneath the hips here to get your hips accustomed to this sensation that we're going for. Now release the block, release the hips all the way down to the floor, and straighten the legs out in front of you. We're coming into seated. Lean over to the left and swing that right foot around so your right foot is hugging your right hip. Knees come together, and if you feel that your right hip is coming up off of the floor, put a block underneath the left hip to make it even. Wherever you are, exhale and fold forward. Your heart is tracking over the left thigh. Hip bones are pulling back as much as the crown of your head is pulling forward. Inhale, come up. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. Exhale and fold forward now. Remember to put a block underneath the left hip remember to put a block underneath the right hip if you feel that the left one is coming up high. Inhale, rise up. Straighten the left leg. Now you're going to bend the right knee, bring it into the chest. Maybe you hug the thigh, wrapping the arms around the back of the knee. Maybe you grab the ankle, straightening out the leg, still keeping the shoulders pulled back and the belly pulled in. Gently release the right leg. We're going to repeat the same thing on the left, so we're hugging the back of the thigh. If you want to work on more hamstring flexibility, maybe you walk the hands up for the ankle. Maybe you reach the heel. Remember to keep that belly pulled in, shoulders pulled back, heart pulling through. If you feel any of this is compromised, then it's a little cue for you to go back to a little bit of an easier modification. So now you're going to bend the right leg. Place the right heel as close to your right bum as possible. And pressing down into the right foot, you're going to lift that right hip. So we're going into Marichyasana A, which is a half-seated, half-standing posture. You're going to reach the right hand forward as much as possible, making contact with the inside of the right knee and the outside of that right shoulder. Maybe you continue that internal rotation and reach around the back, making a bind. Maybe you stay where you are, working on your inner thigh flexibility. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, release. Straighten that right leg and bring that left heel now close to the hip as much as possible. You're going to drive down into the left foot to lift that left hip while keeping the right hip down. Reach forward with the left hand, and maybe you continue that internal rotation, reaching for the wrist of the right hand behind your back. Stay here or exhale and fold. Keep the shoulders level by pushing the right shoulder down. Inhale, look ahead of you, release the bind. Straighten the left leg. Feel the sit bones here. Before you exhale and slowly, slowly roll onto your back. Inhale, bring the knees to the chest and make circles going in, down, out. Just opening up the hips here. Straighten the legs. Release that left leg to the floor, keeping that right calf or knee in the hands with a straight leg. Catch the big toe with the peace fingers of the right hand. Bring that left hand on top of the left thigh to make sure the left thigh stays down. Make sure that hip is making contact with the earth as you swing the right leg out. I'm more concerned with the hip staying on the floor rather than the right foot touching the floor. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale, swing that right leg back to center. Hold here, opening up the hamstring a little bit more. Bend the right knee now, and we're gonna open up the hip. So you're trying to bring the left or the right foot into the left elbow crease as much as you can. You can lift up the chest to grab to make the bind. Or you can alternatively hook the elbows underneath the right shin. I like to make the bind because the weight kind of forces me to pull my hip a little bit more open, but it's up to you. You're gonna bring that right knee into the left hand and bring the right knee over to the left for a twist. Extend the right hand to the right side, reaching for the wall. Look over the right side. Again, we're trying to keep the right shoulder on the floor. Bring that right knee back into the chest. And exhale, release the right leg. Inhale, straighten that left leg, bring it in. Maybe you hold the knee, maybe you hold the calves, maybe you hold the back of your ankle. Bring the big toe into the left piece fingers, keeping that right thigh down with the right hand. You're going to exhale, keep that right hip on the floor as you slowly slide that left leg out to the side. Look over the right shoulder, opening up that left hip as much as you can. Again, we're going for the feeling and not for a certain look. Inhale, swing that left leg back to center. Maybe you open the hip a little bit more. You can use both hands here to open up. And now bend that left leg. Try to bring that left foot into the right elbow crease as much as you can. You can lift yourself up here to wrap your hands and your arms around that left shin. Make sure you keep the spine long. Make sure you keep that right foot down. Now you're going to take that left knee into the right hand and twist over to the right side. Left hand opens out to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Breathe into the twist here. Relax. Relax the face. Relax the neck. Inhale, now bring that knee all the way back to center. Exhale, release the left foot. Now you're going to inhale, bring the knees back to the chest. And come into happy baby, either holding the outsides of the feet or grabbing the big toes with the peace fingers, just opening up the hips here one more time. Lower the heels down now to just in front of the hips. Inhale, lift the hips up, drawing the knees towards each other, drawing the chin toward the ceiling, opening up to a bridge. Pull the belly in, you strengthen the glutes. Exhale, release the hips. Bring the knees together and windshield wiper the legs to release any tension in the hips and low back. Now you can either go for a bridge or open up to a wheel pose if that is in your practice. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders and come up into a back bend or stay in bridge. If you're coming into back bend, try to push your chest all the way forward and try to look toward the feet. Straightening out the legs if you can, or going for that direction. The more you try to straighten the legs out, the more you'll stretch that back. Release here, windshield wiper the knees and the legs. Release the feet. And now you're going to inhale, lift the feet, then lift the hips up into halasana. If your feet touch the floor behind you, then go ahead and clasp the hands. My feet couldn't touch the floor because there was a beam in the way, but you know, I just improvised. Now you're gonna slowly, using your hands as brakes, release the hips onto the floor. Again, very, very slow. This control is where you're going to build the strength to hold postures, use transitions. We're gonna pause here, keeping the legs straight up for this very, very gentle inversion. Bringing the blood and the lymph back from the feet and the legs to the body. Slowly bend the knees and start to open up into Shavasana. Prepare for the rest. Hands out by the side, palms toward the ceiling. Arms are out just enough so that your armpits are not touching each other. Close the eyes here if you haven't yet. You can stay here for as long as you wish, actually. Start to take inventory of the muscles in your face. If you find any that are still clenching, release them now. As you breathe in, you are aware that you're breathing in, and as you breathe out, you are aware that you're breathing out. Be aware of every breath that comes into your body with nourishing oxygen, purifying, cleansing. And imagine every exhale as that air pulling out the toxins, the pain, the sadness, the stress, anxiety, anything that you're struggling with. Imagine the air coming in as cleansing it, and the air coming out as pulling out the debris. Breathe into the hips, pulling out the fear and insecurities. Breathe into the knees, and exhale. Breathe into the toes, nourishing that support that keeps us up all day, helping us do everything that we need to do. Exhale. Breathe into the shoulders, where we hold a lot of tension and stress and shock. Gently release that. Exhale. Begin to really tune into this state of consciousness, but nothingness at the same time. Begin to deepen the breath now, wiggling the toes and fingers, bringing back some life into the body. Inhale, stretch the hands all the way up. Big stretch like you just woke up. Bend the knees now and rock over to the right side, staying here for a moment, feeling the support of the earth upon your body. Using the left hand to prop you up, keeping the eyes closed, come into a cross-legged seated position. Feel the weight of your body now into your sit bones, rooting into the floor. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. And exhale, draw the hands down, pausing at the spot in between the eyebrows so that we may have clear, compassionate, kind thoughts. Draw the hands down now to your lips. You can have loving words, kind words to yourself and to others. And then to the heart, so we may have kind intentions and loving actions. Namaste.